For Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we have really been talking about many different aspects of the disease here on the show, from prevention to diagnosis. And now today, we're going to have a conversation about breast reconstruction after a mastectomy. To tell us how we are educating breast cancer survivors on their options and their resources are Suzanne Reichert, Dr. Lee Newmeyer, and Terry Kuti. Thank you guys so much for coming. I love that we're continuing this conversation. And again, we're covering so many different aspects. Suzanne, but let's kind of start out with the foundation and what you guys are about and what you guys do.
Okay, I'm with Susan G. Komen, Arizona, and many are familiar with us overall. And what we're focused here in Arizona is what we call our bold goal going forward. We're looking in the next 10 years to reduce breast cancer occurrence by 50%. So we're taking charge of that. And part of it is also the education, early for prevention, and then once you are diagnosed with breast cancer, what are your steps? And that's how we teamed up with Terry and the University of Arizona Cancer Center to host Bra Day on the 22nd. So.
I have no doubt that that goal is going to be attainable.
Yes.
You guys do great work. Terry, how is it that you became involved with the Reconstruction Day awareness?
Well, I began writing a blog over a year and a half ago and opened a foundation recently to support women, men and women going through breast reconstruction. And through my research, I discovered that the American Society of Plastic Surgeons holds Breast Reconstruction Awareness Day every year nationwide on the third Wednesday of each October. And I wanted to bring awareness to Tucson. So we had one last year, and we're having one again this year with Komen and University of Arizona Cancer Center. We really want to get the education out into the Tucson and southern Arizona community about breast reconstruction and all the options available for women.
And that's exactly why we have these conversations here and why I love that we're having the conversations. Doctor, let's also kind of look at it from a medical standpoint. How does reconstruction come in? Is it safe when we're talking about from the cancer standpoint?
So excellent question. There are a lot of women who either choose to have a mastectomy or need to have a mastectomy for treatment of their breast cancer. And it's very important to know that we've proven over many years that having immediate reconstruction, which means that at the time of the mastectomy that then you get your reconstruction, at least a temporary one, maybe the full reconstruction, is oncologically safe, meaning it doesn't increase your risk of recurrence, and it is something that doesn't harm the treatment progress or anything like that. So it's really important option to offer women who either need a mastectomy or who choose to have one.
Now, does reconstruction have any impact on being able to tell if there's a reoccurrence?
So that's also a great question. And it turns out that a lot of reoccurrences don't happen in the breast or in the armpit, but they happen elsewhere. But for ones that might come up in the breast, because the breast is no longer there, with a reconstruction, we can almost always feel them. And if not feel them, we can image them. They don't tend to come like in a DIEP flap, which is one of the free flaps where you get to take some tummy fat and move it up to recreate a breast. If the cancer were to come back on the chest wall, it would be somewhere we could feel it, in the scar or someplace, maybe sometimes in the armpit area.
So we've already thought about that. We already know how that would be dealt with. And so, of course, this is why we continue to have this conversation. So those worries or things like that is something that we know we've already kind of conquered. And I know, Suzanne, we also have been doing some work with the University of Arizona and their cancer center. How is Susan G. and them working together?
So since 1993, University of Arizona has received grant money from Susan G. Komen, and right now we have Dr. Martinez, who is doing some research about pain inhibitors relative to there, but that's part of the fundraising that we do here in Arizona. The money stays here in Arizona, and U of A has amazing research going on regarding breast cancer, at the Cancer Center. So that's always, part of what we're there. Support, education, and finding some research relative to that.
We love to hear that people are working together to make this happen, but kind of staying on that money track, Doctor, some people think about that money aspect when they're diagnosed or what they're going through. What happens if your insurance is not willing to pay for some of this?
Well, actually, it turns out there's a federal law that requires that if an insurance company will pay for you to have a mastectomy, they have to pay for reconstruction.
Wow.
And that federal law was passed in the mid-1990s. So that can't be an excuse. Now, sometimes we have to work a little harder. I'm a breast cancer surgeon, so I do the deconstruction. I work very closely with plastic surgeons who do reconstruction. So sometimes we have to work a little bit harder to get it approved but we can. And what's most important to me, and the reason I've worked so hard in this area, is that women really get the education to know what their options are.
Yep. And that's why we have this Awareness Day. I know we're kind of wrapping up on time. There's so much we can talk about, you guys, but I'm going to give everybody the information one more time on where we can get more information and the day itself. But ladies, thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Now, you can recognize Breast Reconstruction Awareness Day by attending the event taking place October 22nd from 7:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. at 2099 East River Road. For a full agenda and more information, log on to KomenArizona.org or please give them a call at 319-0166.